Hello and welcome to another Cuts Tech Reviews. This review today will be, as you can see, the Amazon Echo Dot, or the Amazon Dot, depends how it's advertised. This is the smaller baby brother of the Amazon Echo. If you don't know what the Amazon Echo is, it looks just like this thing you can see in front of you. Let me just show you the size of it. But with a bass speaker attached to it, built in, much bigger. And it's effectively, some people use the term AI for artificial intelligence, although I'm not sure that's a correct description, but it's like a home servant. Think of the computer HAL in, I think it was A Space Odyssey or 2001, something like that. So you talk to it and it will talk back and do what you request. You can't hold a conversation with it, so it's not a true artificial intelligence. However, you can ask it to do a multitude of tasks and it will work. You can name it anything up to 4 different names. You can name it Alexa, you can name it Dot, you can name it Echo, or you can name it Computer, which I believe must be a play on HAL or any film where they talk to the computer with the word computer as a trigger word. And what you call it is the trigger word, and it's listening all the time. It's probably listening right now for that trigger word. But as you can see, if I say Alexa in the title or in flow of conversation, it does nothing. However, if I pause, Alexa, there she is, waiting, and she's now going to say she doesn't understand what I'm saying.
I can't find the answer to the question I heard.
That's because there wasn't a question, darling. Your artificial intelligence is appalling. So, what can you do with this thing? Why would you want one? I understand. I've had this one for a few months now. I've also got an Amazon Echo. I'm pondering doing a review for that as well. The only reason I haven't done a review for that so far is my mount for my camera broke. So I only have a small amount of room from here to here. So I couldn't fit it in. However, that's a lame excuse and I could definitely rig something up. And I probably will. I mean, it's a beast. But what you need to know is that this Amazon Echo Dot can do everything the Amazon Echo can do, with the exception of it doesn't have that speaker. Also, this little device here has somewhere, where is it? There it is, has a earphone jack. So you can plug in a speaker. You probably can't quite see it, but it's there. Now the Amazon Echo doesn't have that, only the Dot has that, and the reason is you can plug a speaker in that and have a decent bass speaker next to it if you want. However, you can hear things. If we say, for instance, Alexa, play Radio 1.
BBC Radio 1 on TuneIn.
Alexa, volume 8. Alexa, stop. Okay, as you can see, the volume's not going to be too loud, but it's going to be loud enough. If you go volume 10, it's going to be very loud. And because it's not bass speaker, the speaker is effectively these little bits around the bottom here that you can see. You can just about make them out around here. This is a soft felt, but around there's the speaker. You're not going to get much bass, whereas the Amazon Echo, you will get a lot of bass. You don't have to use her trigger word, you can just press the button. What time is it?
The time is 8:46 PM.
Thank you very much. It's very good of you. So she's always listening, and she's always listening for that trigger word all the time. But you can press this button here, and now she stops listening, and you can say, Alexa, as much as you like. She's not going to do nothing. That's for those of you that are conscious that you maybe don't want something in your house that's going to be listening for you all the time. Appreciate that. A lot of you are worried about all these theories and who's going to be recording it and does it all get sent to Google and do they hold on to it. And the truth of the matter is, it probably does. Sorry, not Google, my mistake, to Amazon. It probably does get sent to Amazon, but not everything. I think it takes everything that you say from the trigger word and then sends that to Amazon. The app, the companion app that comes with this, when you scan through the history, you can actually play back and listen to the actual what was said. And you can even click yes or no whether Alexa behaved correctly when it was said. So if you asked her to order your favourite Chinese meal and your favourite Indian turned up, you can go back and play and listen to what you actually said and think, well, I've said Indian, I've said Chinese, why should you deliver an Indian, etc, etc. You can link this up to many things. I've linked mine up to my TV. I've linked mine up to my Hive, which is a heating, active heating, and Hive also controls many other devices. You can buy plugs, which I will review, but for now I'll just slot this in here. This is a TP-Link one. So you plug this in the mains, and anything you plug into that you can control with Alexa. It connects via Wi-Fi or Bluetooth to Alexa. I think it's Wi-Fi, it's all on the same network, and away she goes. She can control it, and effectively you give that plug within the app a name. So if you plug it onto your Christmas tree, you call it Christmas tree, and then you will say, Alexa, turn on the Christmas tree lights. Bang, the Christmas tree lights come on. Alexa, turn off the Christmas tree lights. And all it does is it hears turn on Christmas tree lights. As long as you've named it Christmas tree lights, it will turn the plug on or turn it off. That's all it's listening for. With the heating, you could say, Alexa, turn up the heating by 10 degrees, and that's exactly what it will do. Turn it down by 10 degrees, it will do that as well. You can even say turn the heating up 5%, and it will take the current temperature divided by 100, add 5%, and then you're going to get a little bit toasty. Nice. But it does so much more. There's gimmicky things you can do with it. You can get it to tell you a joke. Maybe we should try that. Alexa, tell me a joke.
How many steps does it take to change a light bulb? Only one, but the light bulb has to want to change.
Okay, that's a poor joke, but still, a joke's a joke. You have the words of saying Alexa stop to stop her through anything. So if you say, Alexa, give me my flash briefing.
Here's your flash briefing. In Sky News.
From the Sky News Centre at 8, a criminal
Alexa, stop.
investigation
You can just stop her at any point, you're right. The flash briefing is something you set up in the app. You pick some news agencies that you like, or sports bulletins that you like, not the actual bulletins, the channels, and it will give you a quick flash briefing from each of those channels, one after the other. BBC Sport, maybe, I don't know. There's whatever you choose is what you choose. I choose Sky and a couple of other Daily Mail news items, and away it comes. This also has a thing called skills. Now if you open the app, you can install the skill. Now the skills are developed by, well, Joe Public really, but there are obviously more professional ones developed by the team at Amazon, like the Just Eat skill, which allows you to place an order for your previously ordered takeaways. That's very useful. You just ask her to repeat your previous order and she will do that. And what she will read it out to you, what you ordered, tell you how much it cost before and how much it's costing now, and she will also say, do you want to use the credit card that you was using when you placed that order previously, to which you hopefully will say yes or no. It's entirely up to you. If you say no, I think it will ask you for another one. I've not tried this because I only ever use the one credit card and it's always logged in. So when you set the skill up for Just Eat, you would have to put your credentials for Just Eat into the Alexa app, and then it works a treat. Oh, you saw that she lit up there, then realised I was talking about her, not to her. Pretty good of her. Oh, let me press this to stop her kicking off again. Another thing, actually, Alexa, ask British Rail what my commute is like.
To hear your traffic information, go to your Alexa app and set up your commute.
Yep, I should have set that up before I tried the demo. However, I've got it set up downstairs, and what it does is it gives me my train times for the next 4 trains. which is good because I work in London and I need to know when the trains are and if they're cancelled, etc. You can ask Google type questions, but not all Google things. You could ask her how old David Beckham is, for instance, or what's the square root of 64. By the way, don't want to show off, but I think it might be 8. Now I've said that, I'm going to have to see if it is. Alexa, what is the square root of 64?
The square root of 64 is 8.
Yes, you know it is. Sorry. I have asked her that before. I'm not really clever. So other things you can do. I mean, I presume this is why you're here. You want to know what you can do with it. Everybody loves a spec, but let's have a look. What can we do with it? Just out of note, it's got 7 microphones around the outside that tell it where you are roughly. So it can hear your voice coming from here, or it can hear your voice coming from here, or here, or here, or here. When you play music, it's listening still all the time. So even though it's playing music, it's still listening for your voice. But the microphone that you chose, I believe, is the one that's listening more for when it's... Because if you want to stop what it's doing, and the music's nice and loud, it's not going to hear you if it's listening mainly from the front microphone. So if we do play some music, and you've got it on, it's more in reference to the Echo rather than the Echo Dot, but it's it can get very loud on the Echo, and it's very good at still singly picking out your voice from across a room, even when it's playing music loud. It is very good, to be honest with you. I mean, it does get caught out occasionally, and you end up having to shout at it. It may be a bit easier to just walk over and press the white button. By the way, the Amazon Echo doesn't have the plus and minus buttons. It does have these two. What it does for volume on the Echo, just has a swiveling dial that rotates. This red LED is a blue LED that rotates on the other one. And the bezel is literally the whole top of it, about half the thickness of this. Let's do some connections. What it does is you can connect a Bluetooth phone or device to it to play music. Now this is more beneficial on the Amazon Echo than the Amazon Echo Dot, because obviously the Amazon Echo has a built-in speaker. Although the speaker works, it might not be better than your phone speaker. It connects to your network via Wi-Fi. The only other lead you have is this power lead you can see here. Now, because it's on the Wi-Fi, anything else on the Wi-Fi that there's a skill for, and literally go on the app, click on skills and add the ones you want. I've added obviously Hive, as I said earlier, to control my heating, but Hive does more than control the heating. Hive has sets of lights. There are skills for Hue, Philips Hue lights. I have those as well, and you can get them to control your lights. You get them to come on, go off, turn them down X amount of percent, turn them up X amount of percent, dim, turn them on at night. You can set a schedule. You can get her to control all of those things. Back to controls. So the Bluetooth profiles are A2DP, which is Advanced Audio Distribution Profile, and there's another one which is Advanced Audio Video Remote Control Profile, HFP for hands-free profile. There's a few of those Bluetooth profiles. Wi-Fi channels, it obviously does 802.11, A, B, G, and even the new N. At the moment, I don't think it goes any further than that. And when I'm referring to this, I'm referring to the second generation of these. Of this, I'm not talking about any third or fourth generation if they're out yet. The app, it's for iOS, Android, Windows, even Mac and PC have an app, so you don't necessarily need a mobile phone to use it. It's generally referred to as the Amazon Echo Dot, however that can get confusing with the Amazon Echo. In the box you're going to get the Dot itself, obviously a 3.5 mm audio cable, power adapter for USB charging, etc., and the usual gubbins like quick start guide. Physical specs, channels, there's one, it's called, the form factor is called a bookshelf. Comes in various colours including white as well as black. I've got black obviously. Speaker is 1.5 inches high, so this is 1.5. Let me lift that up. It's 1.5 inches, which from here to here is 3.3 all the way around. It weighs about, well, 0.6 of a pound, which isn't a lot really. On Amazon you can buy a little wallet, so you can put this in your little wallet, put it in your bag and take it on holiday, I suppose, and you can connect it to the hotel Wi-Fi, and then you can control her again. Now literally, because she's on the Wi-Fi, you can still do pretty much all the same things, but you're not really going to order a takeaway while you're there. But you can listen to your flash briefings, you can listen to any radio station you want, you can listen to, because it uses TuneIn, sorry, you can also listen to Amazon Music if you've got that with Prime, and it will play. It will read you your audio books if you've got those, because obviously they're owned by Amazon. Audible.com is owned by Amazon. So there are some advantages of taking it on holiday with you. Some people think, what's the point? But there are some advantages. I'm not saying there's a lot, but there's definitely some. Let me think. So the good and the bad, for me as a user of it, the bad, I guess it's not really bad, but the speaker's, you know, not as good as on the Echo, but it's still good enough. I use this in my bedroom. I set alarms on it to wake me up in the morning. I actually have it waking me up to the Grand Tour, which for those of you who live in England will realise is Top Gear, and it's basically the guys there arguing about waking you up until one of them takes the initiative and shouts into the microphone. What's really good is the speakers are good. It does pick you up. You can be in another room. You can literally, from a crowded room, everyone chatting away, it's got loads of voices, it will still pick up its keyword from the other side of a room, and it will single you out. It will not recognise your voice, but it recognises the voice that triggered it. If I say Alexa, it recognises the following sentence is coming from the same person. So it doesn't hear the word Alexa, start listening, and then someone else talking interfere with it, and it starts asking it all sorts of questions. It hears me say Alexa, and it uses my voice to work out what I want and what I don't want. I just thought of some other things that it can do, but then my mind went blank, so we'll carry on with the good and the bad. Other good features of this is portable. The other one isn't very portable at all. It's like a great big thick thermos flask, the Amazon Echo, but this one is portable, as we mentioned before. You can buy a little wallet to take it away with you. It's got a wow factor. People come in and you've got the radio blaring around, someone comes in your front door, and you just shout Alexa stop, and the music stops. They're like, what's happened there? Who's done that? Who's Alexa? You've got a little slave girl or boy under your stairs controlling your music? That's a cheap way of getting audio. No, it does sound good and it does look good. And the first thing people ask me every time I demonstrate it is, how much would it cost me to get this up and running in my house? Well, the Dot is only £49 in England. But to get it up and running, if you want it to control your heating, you need Hive, or, well, many other heating people do it as well. Nest do it, that also connect here. But that's £200 odd for the Hive, 250 I think at last count. The Hue light bulbs, I think they're £40 a bulb. Admittedly, they do some fantastic colours and stuff, and they're great and great and useful, but they're not cheap. The little switch that I mentioned earlier, this thing, TP-Link, £20, which is cheap, because Hive do one, and the Hive one is about £40. What else do we need to tell you? As far as ratings are concerned, CNET gave it a rating of 4.5. TechRadar gave it a rating of 4.5. Some of you might be familiar with Tom's Guide, very good site. They gave it a rating of 4, and PC Magazine gave it a rating of 4. I mean, that may mean something or nothing to you. As I said, in England it's £49. However, Amazon, as you know, anyone who's ever shopped with Amazon know that you can buy something for £49 on Amazon, and the very next day it'll be £39. It's just hit and miss when they've put something on their flash sale. But it is good. It is very good, and I thoroughly recommend it. And if I do a review for the big one downstairs, you'll see why I've got both. This one sits in my bedroom, the one downstairs sits in the kitchen. I've got a big kitchen, and you can call to it from anywhere in the house, but you can ask it IMDb questions. If you're watching a film and you want to know what film such and such an actor's been in, it will tell you. When you're cooking, you put your spuds in the oven and you want them on for 20 minutes, ask her to set you an alarm for 20 minutes, or not an alarm, apologies, set a timer for 20 minutes. And then you put your veg in, and that's only 15 minutes, ask her to set you another timer for 15 minutes, and it will just keep them up. One of the biggest and best things for me as a family man is the calendar. It links with Google Calendar. Now, I have a Google account, obviously, for Google Calendar. The Google Calendar that I have is a family account, and I've signed into my wife's phone, my computer, and even attached it to the work one. Anytime you want, you can just say, Alexa, add to my calendar XXX on XXX, and it will add it, and it will appear straight away in that calendar. So when my daughter, for instance, has a school play, and I pick my daughter up and the teacher says there's a school play next week at 2 o'clock, I come home, I tell Alexa, it appears in the calendar. My wife might be at work, and boom, it's popped up on her calendar. And then I can't have any of these arguments where she goes, you never told me. You know why I didn't tell you, love? Because it's on your bloody calendar. Have a look at your calendar, that's why we got one. I would demonstrate it, but what if I mess it up? Because this is when I was talking about pros and cons, one of the cons is you do need to say exactly what you want it to do. So we'll have a crack, see if I get it right. I haven't added anything to my calendar for a while. Alexa, add to my calendar Isabella's...
Got it.
Whoa! The 3rd of January.
For what time?
2:15.
And what's the name of the event?
Isabella's blessing.
I'll schedule Isabella's blessing on Wednesday, the 3rd of January at 3 p.m. Okay?
Yes.
Okay, I've added that.
Okay, I don't know what January she's picked. I'm hoping it's Wednesday the 3rd of January is next year, because if she's just booked that for 3rd of January that's just gone, well, I'm going to miss it. Don't want to miss a blessing, do we? Blessings come so rarely, last thing I want to do is miss one. So you get the idea. I'm just going to mute that again because I don't want to kick it off again. If you've got any questions, you want a bit more detail, just put it in the comments section and I will answer it. Because I can't have covered everything, that's guaranteed, because I don't read notes. I've got a list of the specs in front of me, the rest I just blurt it out after I've used it for a couple of months, so I'm winging it all the time. However, it works for me. People ask me questions. I wish people would just put comments rather than DMing me and emailing me, but you can email me, you can DM me, you can put it in the comments. In the comments is better because it serves other people. If I've missed a question, if I've missed a fact and you ask me it as a question and it appears in a comment, then someone else doesn't have to come and ask me the same thing. So throw a comment down if you need to. Tell me what you think of the video. Tell me what you think of my reviewing style. Maybe I can have some constructive criticism rather than people just saying I'm rubbish and I've got a silly plastic Cockney accent. Maybe you could tell me it's great. That would be cool, wouldn't it? Hit subscribe and we'll look forward to the next one, which may be Amazon Echo Dot's big brother, Amazon Echo.